Hi guys, welcome to GemmaBeaMakes. I'm Gemma and this is my crafty channel where I talk about all the things that I've been making. This particular episode I've got some knitting, spinning, dyeing fibre and sewing to share with you guys. There's actually quite a lot of content today that I've got to get through because it's been ages since I last saw you guys. I've been really busy, but lots of fun time busies. I went to Download Music Festival last weekend, and the children have had a school holiday since I last saw you guys. Lots of just fun things, but it just means I haven't been able to share a lot of the things I've been doing with you quite as often as I'd like. I am going to jump straight in with some finished objects for you guys because I've got quite a few. The first one that I'm sure I really want to do a drum roll for because it's taken so long. But this is the Elton by Locatelli. I finished it! So I'm sure I'm prancing around my garden by now and you can see this cardigan in its full glory. Guys, it took so long. It was hated every step of the way. But I finally have one of the warmest, did not realise how warm mohair was, one of the warmest, most practical cardigans. I'm so chuffed with it. Am I so chuffed with it? Yes, I am. I'm happy it's finished. I'm happy I've got a finished object. I'm happy that I've got a very practical throw-on cardigan. Still got a few tweaks with it. So I did not realise mohair was so warm. I thought it was quite a light, airy, springtime fabric because you can see through it. It's lace weight. I assumed, I don't know, breathable. So warm. So, we're in the height of summer that is in England, which is about 3 weeks in June. You might get a week in August. We're in the middle of the 3 week June summer at the minute. It's very warm here at the minute. It's not. It's about 18 degrees, but it's about as much as I can handle. Oh dear. Yes, but So this cardigan had got some wear at Download Festival, which was pretty cool. I managed to. Because it's so light and airy, actually it folds up really small and fits in my bag really easily. And it's really, really lightweight and really, really warm. So on an evening when it got cold at the festival, it was perfect. It is going to be the perfect autumn grab-on kind of cardigan. I managed to put some buttons on. So I thought I got the cutest button. Well, they were so perfectly matched, if you can see that there. But they are the same colours as the yarn, and they kind of just an ombre of the same yarn colour, and they're slightly what they call, they've got a little step grade on them, so they're really, really easy to, buttons are buttons, aren't they? Yeah, they're really cute, and I thought they matched really, really well. I managed to pick up all my dropped stitches throughout the entire cardigan, which is quite a few. I dropped so many stitches on that mohair. But I think, so the last time you guys saw it, I think I'd done a sleeve and I was going to pick up the next sleeve. And I hadn't decided whether I was going to pull it out or something. I can't remember, it was such a long time ago. I ended up pulling out the whole thing again. I undid the bottom hem. I unpicked the tubular bind off that must have taken me 3 hours to do. I unpicked the entire thing and added about 6 more stripes to get the kind of length that I wanted. And then when I did the bind off again, I couldn't bring myself to do the tubular again. It was a really, really nice effect and it looked really good once it was finished. It just wasn't worth the 3 hours of my time. I did do it on was going to say I did do it on the cuffs, but I've just looked and I didn't do it on the cuffs either. I was gonna, and then I didn't. I also unpicked the sleeves. I frogged the sleeves again because I'd decreased them too much. I followed the instructions to decrease, like I think it's every 6th row or something. And they just got thinner and thinner and thinner. And actually when I tried them on, they were really tight around my wrist. So what I did is, I don't know if you can see, but I kind of decreased to about here. And then I just did a straight sleeve all the way down and decreased at the cuff. And now it fits how I want it to. So yeah, it's been an absolute work to get this finished product, but it's here. I did make a little faux pas here. So on the when you pick up for the button band and you're putting your buttonholes in, I didn't read the instructions properly, and it does say to put one in the top, which would have looked a lot nicer and a lot more finished. But in reality, I don't think I'm ever going to wear it with the top button buttoned up. So I do kind of wish this cardigan had actually a shawl collar or a v-neck, because I'm never going to wear this buttoned up so high. I'm always only ever going to wear it open. The buttons are really nice. I don't know, this little round neck. Anyway, I do like it for what it is. It's a nice autumn, spring. It's a throw-on cardigan. It's wearable. It goes with my wardrobe. I'm very happy. It's finished. I will never ever knit one again. Did I want to tell you anything else? Probably. I've probably forgotten all the things. The yarn, I'll just go one more time. So the yarn that I used, this dark blue merino, was dyed by me. I dyed 5 skeins of it a long time ago, and I've managed to get 2 jumpers out of it. So I got one Zweig, I knit a Zweig sweater with this colour and this out of the leftovers. And actually, I think I've still got half a skein, maybe a little bit more than half a skein left. And the mohair is a mohair silk from North Shire Yarns in the colourway Dean, which again, I still have quite a lot left. So I think this whole cardigan in total took 2 skeins of 4-ply yarn and maybe 1.5 50-gram skeins of mohair. And I am not a small girl. I think I made the 5th size or maybe the 4th size. I can't remember now. So, you know, it really goes a long way. I was impressed at the yardage that I managed to get out of it. Lots of leftovers left. So that's everything I think I wanted to tell you. I do have another finished object in knitting. In fact, I have 2. I'll go through my little stack. Where's my little pile? Here they are. Last time I spoke to you guys, I was knitting socks for the boys. And now I have 2 pairs of socks for my boys. I'm not going to talk too much about these. These are 2x2 ribbed socks, and one was for James, who is my 4-year-old, and one was for Edward, who is my 9-year-old. And they are very similar sized feet. I don't know if Edward's just stopped growing and Edward's the oldest, and James, my youngest, just hasn't stopped growing. So they're both kind of the same size. I think they're probably going to both be for James. By the time it gets to winter, because these are really quite a thick sock, by the time it gets to winter, they're not going to fit Edward anymore. Well, maybe he's just stopped growing, so we'll see. But I think James has just got himself 2 pairs of socks. Anyway, that was a little finished object that I finished such a long time ago now. I think maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks ago since I last spoke to you guys. It's been a while. I've also knit myself a pair of socks now. I don't know if you guys watched my last episode, but I had been doing some dyeing sock fibre to knit myself a pair of socks, and it was a little bit of an experiment. I wanted to get some, I had dyed fibre to spin to see if I could knit identical socks. Well, as you can see, my socks did not turn out identically. They are very different sizes. No, experiment fail. So this is Polworth and nylon, dyed with this corally colour. There's like a stone colour, and then this green. And I'd spun the whole lot trying to get a pair of socks. So I started toe up on, this was my first sock, I think, yes. The big one, the large one was my first sock. And the plan was to knit until it started to turn coral again and stop and then start again. And I was really hoping they were going to be the same size, but they're really quite obviously not. I mean, they still match and I'm still going to wear them and it's really no big deal. It's just very, very odd that I didn't get, experiment fail. You know, but you got to try these things. If that would have worked, I'd have been really, really impressed. And I might have given it another go, but I don't think I will now. I had lots of fun though. And I still got a pair of socks for myself. They're super warm as well. So yeah, I got myself a pair of hand-spun socks that are quite clearly really badly different sized. Well, just a different length in leg. They're the same size, they're going to fit me. I just have to make sure I've got long jeans, long trousers covering my ankles at the bottom. You know, but you got to try these things. So, well, I did. Okay, I kind of rushed through everything because I really want to show you something that you haven't seen before, and I'm really, really proud of. So last time I went to Harrogate Knitting and Stitching Show, November last year, I bought 4 meters, I got 2 bundles and it was 2 meters each, so 4 meters of black cord material. And my plan was to make myself some dungarees out of this material. I really wanted a nice pair of Heydays. Have you guys seen the Heyday dungarees? And I bought the pattern and I printed it all out. My friend Kirsty helped me print it all out at home. And I don't know how I did it, but I didn't pick the right print. Maybe I put fit to page or, 100% on the printer or whatever, but it came out too small. So I stuck the whole thing together, and when I measured it, it was so only slightly out. I think there's like a tester where it's supposed to be 2.5 inch square test, and when you measure it, it's supposed to stay that way. I mean, it was like 2 inch or something, so it was quite a difference. I couldn't have just done it anyway. And I was really, really annoyed at myself that I'd done this. Anyway, I really wanted the dungarees. At the same time, the cord was really nice, and I thought I'd make a really nice jacket. So I bought the pattern for the Athena jacket by Itch to Stitch. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to put it up on the screen. And I wanted this jacket to go to Download Festival with. I needed a summer jacket. I knew it was going to be warm, and it was. Oh, it was glorious, guys. I've never been to a festival where it's never rained once. And guys, it never rained once. It was absolutely amazing. It was me and 8 friends. Me and 7 friends. There was 8 of us all together. We got a house close by, so there was no festival camping. We taxied in each day. It was like a 10-minute journey in the taxi. And we just spent a day in a field with some good music well, it was all right music. But, you know, a beer with friends in the sunshine, in a field, with my knitting, absolute happy place. It was amazing. Anyway, I'm going to do another drum roll. Do I do another drum roll? No. Guys, can you see it? Am I prancing around my garden yet? This is the Athena jacket by Itch to Stitch, made by me on my sewing machine. I am so impressed. I think this one, this particular project, apart from like my big winter coat, which took the longest time, this had the most pieces I think I've ever cut out. I think it had something like 26 pieces. I might be fibbing there. I think it had something like 18 pieces, but a lot of them then you had to cut out the interfacing as well, so you had to recut. So it was about 26. Some of them were for interfacing, but yeah, it was lots and lots of pieces, lots of work that went into it. All the seams are all flat felt seamed, so you sew them twice and top stitch across them. It has like body shaping. The sizing on the Itch to Stitch was very good. Well, I say very good. This is the largest size. So I have not come to this podcast with as much information as I would like to share with you guys. It's all on my phone and I'm filming them on my phone. So it is the largest size. My bust size is a 46. And my hips are a 50, I think. And it is still quite a little tight on my hips. But it still fits. And did you see me prancing in my garden? It fits, it's nice. I'm really impressed. It's got some really nice bust shaping to it. And the pattern comes, although it doesn't go into really large sizing, it does have different bust sizes that go with it, so you can go right up to a size 20 and a plus double D bust, which I'm a G, I think. But yeah, it has little top pockets, one on either side, and it has a welt pocket. Is that what that's called? Let me see if I can. I'm going to have to do some close-ups because I can't hold that and talk to you. So let me show you the welt pocket. Now, don't look too closely, guys, because there is some really incredibly bad stitching on both of these pockets. I had to do a little hand sewing to kind of tack it all together. It was not my best experience of a welt pocket. It was my first time doing it, and it's very thick cord. So it didn't look the best, but you know, you can't tell, it's black. And I lined it with just a spare fat quarter that I had in my stash. You can't actually see it. I thought maybe you'd be able to peek a little bit of the colour, but you can't really, it's on the inside. So so one of the, apart from like a little bit of hand tacking on the welt pocket, the process of actually sewing it went really, really well. The instructions were really good. There was nothing that I kind of came to and was like, oh, I don't understand what that's going on about. The only thing that I kind of did wrong, if you were, is the buttons. So the pattern calls for a regular like jean button, so it would be a buttonhole and a button, but I had these poppers, and in true Gemma style, I finished sewing this the night before I went to download, so I didn't have time to go get like jean buttons, you know, the ones that I mean, the metal ones. So, but I thought these looked really nice. So I was like, I'll just use these buttons. But because I was using press studs, there was no instructions to go with it. And I had not used this kind of press stud before. I've used like little poppers that are kind of plastic, and I've got a squeezy, like a I don't know what that tool is called. Anyway, you squeeze it together and it just kind of squishes the poppers into place. It's really easy to use. Whereas these guys come with instructions to use a hammer, and you get like a little tool that you kind of put them together, and then you have to hammer them into place. It was a little bit terrifying, and if you miss and you hit it hard enough, you've messed it up. That's it. Like it's it was a little bit daunting to be doing it, to be fair. In my head, you've got a male part and a female part, and I was trying to think, well, the male part goes into the female and you push it down together. So I started with this side, and I put all the male parts on this side, and then realised, I can't show you now, but these stud parts didn't fit onto this because I'd put them on the wrong side. These male parts are supposed to go on this side, because so now when you open up, I have got on the inside of the wrong side like the metal covers, and they didn't fit on this. So actually these guys, the packet came with 10, and it's a good job because I've got 5. I put 5 buttons on, and so I managed to have enough to then just super glue these guys over the top of this, because otherwise it was just like well, have a look on the inside of your jeans. It's just like a little metal flat bit, and it didn't look nice on the top. I was like, what am I going to do? That's it. I've like hammered them into place. I don't have any more, and they weren't fitting. They kind of fit over the top on the outside, but the more I hammered it, it was getting a bit, I didn't want to break this part on this side. Anyway, I ended up super gluing them. So they're not going anywhere now. They're really not going anywhere. However, I'm really annoyed at myself. So I've got this is the inside of the others. If you've noticed, this one is missing because, you know, drunken Gemma at a festival, first time wearing a jacket, I've obviously not hammered this one properly, and as I've opened the coat, it's stuck here, look. So I've got the female part because it was stuck to there, but this metal part that holds it on together must have flung off into the download ether and is now missing. So I'm a little bit annoyed at that because there is no way I can get another one to fix it. I'm kind of thinking I might be able to, like, I don't know, maybe sew it on, but it's got this, there's no like sew hole or anything. Like, I'd have to go through the middle, and then I don't know, I might try super glue it. But do you know what, it's not already, I mean, I've worn it nearly every day, well, when it's been chilly enough. It's really quite a warm jacket. I'm really impressed with how wearable it is. It's just super duper chuffed with that. It was a little tricky to sew in certain places because it's a thick cord and it's flat fell seamed. At certain points, I think I was going through like 6 layers, but I didn't break a needle on my sewing machine, which is good. And actually the sewing of it, cord is actually quite easy to sew with. When you put the right sides together, they kind of stick together and don't move. So doing those seams and putting things together is actually quite easy, and it's really stable. So yeah, super impressed. What else can I tell you about it? Black cord collects every tiny bit of fluff that you come into contact with. So it's not a good idea to go spinning in it because you come away covered in fibre. Oh, that was it. So you're supposed to have the same buttons on the cuff. Obviously, I ran out because I did it the wrong way around. I was supposed to have 10 and I only ended up having 5. But I did, like I said, have these plastic ones. So I just put a black plain one on the cuffs. But yeah, and I also, at the very bottom, because I didn't really space out, I'm really bad doing this. I'll insert a little video. So at the very bottom of the button band, like I say, my hips are just that little bit big and it did gape a little bit when I walked. So I put a black popper right at the bottom as well. And you can't really see it because I've managed to put it on from the inside. So when it's closed up, you can't see that it's there. And when it's open, you can only see like the little male part of the black one on the one side. And it's black and it blends in, so you can't really see it. So it's just a little tiny hack at the bottom to make it all fit. But yeah, take a breath now. Yeah, that is all my finished objects. But I was really, really happy with that one. It is supposed to have some. I keep throwing it and then bringing it back. It is supposed to have a button on here as well. Again, I would have had one, but it's run out. I think it's all right without. I still might, although I super glued the things for now, so I don't think they're going to come off, but I still might see if there's a way of taking all of the buttons off and replacing them properly. But probably not. But probably not. I don't think I'm going to get away with taking them off. I hammered them. There's just that one that obviously I didn't hammer it enough, but I don't think the rest of them are moving. I have tried to pull them off, thinking, well, if it just popped off, maybe the other ones will, but no, then they're not moving. I will definitely need some kind of tool to take them apart, and I don't have that tool and I don't have the time or the willing, really. But yeah, really, really impressed with that. In fact, I'd really like the same jacket, but in like a really lightweight linen, or just, really a kind of summery, maybe not a double gauze, but something really, really light. I think it'd look really nice in that kind of material. Just have a little. Oh no. Jiggle. Okay, so that's all the finished objects that I've been doing. Should I go into whips, or do you want to see my spinning? I'm going to do my whips because I only have one and I need you to see it. Because I don't know if you can guess, but it's a Musselbergh. So this is going to be a Musselbergh hat by Ysolda. As I don't know if you can see there. Oh my goodness, that was my elbow. This yarn is all that I've got left, and I am quite clearly losing at yarn chicken. So that's where I stopped. I started doing that this morning, and it was quite clear that I was going to fail. This is the second time I've knit this hat with this yarn. I knit a bigger size and realised my gauge was coming out a little bit too, as I got further up, my gauge was bigger than expected. The hat was coming out really quite big, so I pulled out the whole thing and did it again. This yarn is, it's hand-plied Harris wool tweed. Harris wool. So my mum and dad recently went on a holiday to Scotland, around the north coast of Scotland. They went to the Isle of Skye and they stopped off at a few places round on the coast, and just basically went shopping for me. And I got a giant haul of fibre. How cool is this? I'll show you all this in a second, but my dad also picked this one for himself. So he watches the podcast, hi Dad, and said he wants one of the Musselbergh hats and he'd picked this yarn. Dad, I'm going to have to tell you now, it's not going to work because there's not enough yardage to make the hat. I've tried twice now and I've made it small and I'm still not going to be able to get enough. And actually, I think I needed another 2 inches of length on the hat. I was trying to cast off a little bit early, thinking it might just be more of a beanie rather than a slouch, but it's not going to work. It also feels like a carpet. It's not very soft, but it's Harris tweed. No, sorry, it's Harris wool. And Harris wool is really well known for softening like quite a lot when you block it. So maybe giving it a really good soak and with quite a bit of conditioner might soften it quite a lot. It'll be the warmest hat ever. It's really thick. It's really, really warm, but I just can't get the length on it. So I pulled this one out of my stash. This is also yarn that my dad bought for me when he went to Loop in London, and they are very similar in colour. So this was, I think it's Socks That Rock, and it's like really similar colours. So this Harris tweed, if you I keep saying tweed, it's just Harris wool. When you look, it's been hand plied and it's 4 colours. So it's like a navy, a green, a yellow and like a magenta colour. And when you look at this yarn, there is like a green, a navy, a yellow and a deep, it was more of a deep dark red. But quite clear, my dad has a colour palette. These are the colours that he's picked. So what I'm going to do, well, what I thought I could do, is I thought I had more of this. I did make a pair of socks in it, so I thought I had more leftovers, but there doesn't seem to be much. And this is really quite rough. But what I'm going to do is pull it back again to the halfway point of when it will turn inside out. And I'm going to switch to this yarn and knit as much as I can for the inside and then switch back again. So actually when you turn it to its inside, the brim on the inside will be this super soft merino, and it'll be nice against it, like you won't have an itchy head or anything, and then it'll give me the length, and it matches, and it's all for my dad. Thanks, Dad. So it also, they went on holiday for themselves and ended up buying me like the biggest magazine. So they found the hand spinner having fun, and apparently they've got a little thing here. So she's got her own little hut, and she sits and does her hand spun yarn. My dad said the shop was absolutely full of it, and all fibre, and yeah, I really wanted to go on holiday with my dad and my mum. Obviously, they went together. I got some carded merino and a silk bat. Look at those colours. I don't know if you can see if they're coming through. It's like super reddy on this side, and then you've got kind of turned into a Monet, water lilies kind of colours on the back there. It goes crazy on the side. That's going to be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to spinning that. And then, and more. And then like a pick and mix baggie. So I got this blend. My mum said this was a merino, but how cool is that? I really like that. And this was the same. Oh, it's fluffy. This was also the same fibre. So these are both blends of merino, but I thought they were really, really nice. Got a good eye for colour, my parents. And some alpaca. But look how fuzzy this is. So this is like a natural fibre, natural coloured alpaca. I think I might have a go at dyeing this, but this is so fuzzy and it's so soft. Oh, again, really quite looking forward to spinning that. So a big thank you to my mum and dad for my birthday haul. My birthday's in September, but I got my present now, obviously. I'm going to put all this away and stop rustling. But yeah, that was really cool. Hand spinners. Oh, and it also, really cute, got these little stitch markers that are they all the right way around? Probably not. Am I turning them around? All kind of Scottish themes, so a little sheep and a Celtic thing. The thistle there, is that the right way around? And a little elephant. I have no idea why an elephant's Scottish, but it's cute. Like little stitch markers. So that was really fun. I enjoyed them going on holiday and buying me things. Thank you. I'm moving again. Okay. That is my only whip. You think I'm kidding? I'm not actually kidding. I finished all my socks. I finished my cardigan. I have been knitting that hat, well, for about a week now, because I knit a full hat and then I pulled it all out again, and then I've knit a full hat and I'm going to pull it out again. But it's the only whip I've got. Guys, I've like pared down so much. I've got quite a bit of stuff that I want to do, and just don't seem to have the time to do the cast on bit. Everything that I knit at the minute, just I do it when it's like right at the end of the day and I just want to turn off. So I want to sit and watch Ozark because I'm so close to the end and it's so good. And I don't want to have to think about anything. So the Musselbergh is absolutely brilliant because you're going round and round and round stockinette stitch and it doesn't hurt my brain. But the thought of casting anything on and just using that, I mean, it doesn't take a lot, does it, to cast something on, but it does. You're reading the instructions, you have to concentrate for, you know, a good couple of hours. And I just don't have it in me right now. What I do have in me is spinning. I have really, really been enjoying my spinning. So my plan with spinning at the minute, if you've been following along my spinning journey, I am currently in the middle of dyeing fibre to spin myself a jumper. I have finished, are you ready for this? 400 grams. It's 5 full skeins of traditional 3-ply, and this is going to be my main colour. So I dyed this fibre. It is, oh god, it's really soft. It's a blend of merino and Falkland. It's really, really soft. It's got really quite a nice drape to it. I've done the skeins quite tight, but as you can see, that they've got a little bit of structure to them, but they're still quite floppy. And they bloomed so much when I soaked them. So if you can see, let's have a little proper. So when I dyed the fibre, I did a really, really lightly saturated 3 colours. It was like a really light blue and like a green, like a minty, oceany green, and then the stone colour, like a pebble stone. And I just really lightly dyed the fibre. I wanted a lot of the natural colour through, and I just wanted this light colour, and I'm so happy with how they've turned out. But yeah, they've really bloomed, but I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So I've got 400 grams of this main colour. I'm really, really hoping that's enough because I haven't got any more. And then I wanted, my plan just keeps changing. So originally I wanted to do a yoked sweater by Jen Stein Gass. I can't remember the name of it. It's got like a wheat sheaf going across. And it's really nice. It's still on my list, but I don't think it's going to be for this hand spun. I can't remember what it's called. Is that Athena as well? My jacket was Athena, maybe. I can't remember. I'll pop it on the screen. Was I right? I hope so. Anyway, that was one of the plans. It's not anymore. Then I really wanted to do the gingham, the great gingham. I can't remember who did that. Is it Jessie Maid? Oh, again, I'm filming on my camera, on my phone, and I just want to check. But the great gingham jumper, great print gingham sweater. And I've seen some really, really fab versions of that. And I thought maybe I could do a darker colour and do the gingham jumper. And again, I've changed my mind. But I think it's only because of how the yarn's turning out. So I had 400 grams of this main colour. And in the end, I decided that I was going to do 3 contrasting colours and spin 3 contrasting colours and do a colourwork jumper. I haven't decided on the colourwork yet, but that's what I've decided. It's going to be a colourwork jumper. These were just dried last night. These are my contrast colours. So when I was dyeing the fibre, I bought a kit from, they are landscape dyes, and the kit was from Wingham Wool. And it came as like a theme, so it was the coastal colours. So this colour is Pacific, this is coral, and this is kelp. And in here there was stone, Tamsin, and like the really light coloured greeny colour. I did these 2 first. So 3 colours in here and 3, it came with 6 colours. And when I was doing this, I really liked this kelp colour. I really liked this this coral colour. In fact, the socks are also the kelp and the coral, but just really, really lightly saturated. It had lots of white left throughout the fibre, whereas I tried to get more of it. There's still a little bit of the whites popping through, or just more lightly dyed, but much more saturated, these 2. And this Pacific colour, I actually wanted it to be the lighter blue, but because I'd already used a lot of the dye, I dyed this first, this colour, and it just came out way too light. So I grabbed a little bit of my random navy dye that and it all went in the pan, and I popped it all in together, and when it came out, it was still too light. There wasn't going to be enough contrast. Like, you wouldn't be able to, I mean, this is really really pale, but I wanted more of a contrast. So what I did is I over dyed a lot of it with this Pacific colour, but actually there's still quite a lot of quite a bit of blue, and it also split into 2 as well. So it looks a mess, but it's still really soft. I've managed to no felting. It's still, I've got the dyeing down now, guys. I'm impressed. I do need some better equipment. I need a better pan, but it's all up my nose now. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. So it was literally just dried. This one was the last one that I did. I did them all together, and I dried this and really didn't like it, so I've over dyed it again. And it dried overnight last night. So this is going to be my next bit of spinning. So I'm going to have 3. These are 100 grams each. 3 contrast colours to go with my 400 gram. Oh, so much itching. That's come right up my nose. I need to sneeze. No, it's not going to happen. Okay. Yeah, so now I just need to find a pattern that's going to fit. So I really enjoy making the yoked jumpers. I think they suit me quite well. I'm comfortable in them, and they're easy because they're done in one piece. Well, I think they're easy. They're done in one, they're just done in one piece, and there's no seaming, there's no whatever, no picking up stitches or anything, because everything's kind of on live. I think they're easy. So I really might do a strange brew jumper, and that is a pattern by Tin Can Knits, and it's a jumper recipe. It's a sweater recipe, and all you do is put in your gauge and your numbers, and you kind of do the maths. You can make yourself a jumper. They make it really easy to do. But when I was doing the Elton, now that I've got it, this is quite a drop shoulder. I don't really like it. So I don't think it suits me as well. It makes me feel like I'm round. I think my shoulders drop quite a lot anyway. And a drop shoulder just makes, I don't know, I don't find it as... I don't want to say the word flattering, because I actually do not care whether it's flattering or not. But I just don't, I'm not as comfortable in it. I don't think it suits me as well as the yoked. But I was thinking maybe a different style shoulder. Like I don't know if a raglan suits me either. So I was having a little look at other designs and how like shoulders are created. Do I just want to do like quite is it a setting sleeve, or just stop here and do like a proper sleeve cap, that's how it's called, or a saddle shoulder, because that's quite different. But again, would that make it look like droopy? I don't know. I still haven't decided. You need to tell me now, guys. What do you think? Is there a certain pattern that you think, actually, Gemma, I know exactly what you're talking about. That colourwork jumper that I saw the other day, that's got like the perfect little square shoulders that will make you give a little bit more of a square and less of a round. But I do like a yoke. I know that I do them a lot. And I'd quite like to do something new. I think the yarn that I'm making and the yarn that I'm creating would work perfectly for a strange brew jumper or something very similar. I have seen the new Caitlin Hunter, and she's done like and it does look really interesting, but it's like a V-neck. It's like but it's quite a boaty neck, so it's quite V, and then the shoulders look really interesting, and it V's again at the back, but he just looks very wide, and I think if you get that wrong, it's gonna hang off either side, and I'm not into that. I'd quite like to cover up my bra straps. I don't really like it when it's too big, and it does look wide. I'm sure you can make it smaller or whatever, but the construction looks really, really interesting. So I am quite interested in that one, and it is a colourwork jumper, I think. I think there's a plain version or I still don't know, or a colourwork version. But again, I do a lot of Caitlin Hunter jumpers, and I know this sounds really silly, but I just want a little bit of variation. I can't have all my jumpers be designed by the same person. Well, I could, like the biggest fan. But it's not, it's just everything that she does to me is interesting. Anyway. But yeah, I've really, really been enjoying that spinning. I have got a spinning whip on the go at the minute. Oh, it's on the wheel. I'll show you next time, because I think I've shown you lots, but it was the really brightly coloured Furbeck fibre braid that I bought last episode, and because I was waiting for this fibre to dye and dry, I'd already done the other one, and I was going to the spinning meeting the other day. We're meeting at the Guild. I'm part of Bradford Guild of Spinners, Weavers and Dyers. In fact, guys, I got strong-armed into the committee on the Spinners, Weavers and Dyers. I say strong-armed, I did volunteer, but yeah. And I am now their new speaker finder and workshop finder. So I've managed to fill the whole year with really interesting like workshops. So we're going to be doing some willow weaving. I'm doing like a fibre preparation, how to do drum carding and like rolag making. And what else are we doing? What else have I booked? Like a recycle, reuse, or kind of scraps, but making tapestries and called like bringing your own inspiration photographs and recreating like big tapestry works, or small ones or big ones or however. But that one looks really, really fun. I'm really quite looking forward to that one. We're also doing loads of stuff. So but I filled this year, but now I need to do next year. So this is what I actually need you for, guys. If there's anybody local, like Yorkshire area, that knows of any like really interesting workshops or talks or anything like that, please let me know, because I would like to book them. I'm not secretly, because I'm about to tell the whole internet, but joined the committee just so I could book all the workshops that I want to do while spending somebody else's money. So I just want to do lots of really interesting things. But yeah, we had a meeting the other day. I needed a new whip on my spinning wheel. So I picked the Furbeck 5X with really bright, beautiful colours. It's halfway through a bobbin. I don't want to take it all off the wheel. I will show you next time when I'm sure it'll actually be finished. Because like I said, I kind of am obsessed with spinning at the minute. It's become my zen. And I think Tour de Fleece starts on the 1st of July. What date is it? Today is solstice. It is the 20th of June when I'm filming this. When this will be edited and put up onto the internet, I have no idea. But yeah, we're in mid-solstice. So I think Tour de Fleece starts on the 1st of July and usually runs for about 3 weeks. I'm going to obviously be joining in. I'm not joining anybody's team this year. I'm going to be team GemmaBeaMakes. I am going to spin myself a jumper. I'm already spinning most days at the minute, so I don't think anything else has changed. It's not, in years past, I've got a little bit obsessive about Tour de Fleece and burnt myself out with the spinning, but actually I'm enjoying it so much at the minute. Actually, I don't think it's going to change my life. It will just be the same as how it's always been. But I think that's everything else I need to tell you. Oh, I do have one more little fluffy braid. This is still the Merino and Falkland, but this was all the exhausts of all the dye that I had. So there's still some of those light shades down there. This was the dark blue that I put on top of this one. And I wanted to see what colour this was. This was just a little bit of dye I had, and I had a corner to cover. So this is a really, really random braid fibre that actually, if you spin into a Musselbergh hat, will be different from the inside to the outside. My gosh, my brain just goes straight to hats now. But yeah, that was just a little bit of exhaust dyeing. That is actually everything that I wanted to show you guys. So we're at the end. Yay, besties. It's really nice to be able to get to sit and talk to you guys. I really do enjoy it. I'll see you all next time. Why do I get so awkward when I have to end it? Anyway. It's really nice to be able to get to sit and spend some time with you guys. I really do enjoy sharing everything that I've been making, and I hope to see you a little bit sooner than I left it last time. But yeah, till whenever. See you soon, guys. Love yous. Bye.